What up, what up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk channel where we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So in today's episode, I'm gonna discuss 5 ways to cancel your student loan debt. 5 ways to cancel your student loan debt. Admin notes, thank you all to my subscribers for subscribing to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So what are the 5 ways of canceling student loan debt? Well, first of all, let me explain the reason why I decided to create this video. So of course, number one, this channel it discusses finances, fitness, and folks, right? So student loan debt is definitely something part of finance, because student loan debt can sometimes be literally bondage, as far as like holding you back from gaining wealth and building wealth. So you have to figure out some kind of way to get rid of student loan debt, because it really holds you back from a whole lot of things you can do when it comes to money. Also, this is the year 2023, and a couple of days ago, Congress knocked down a Biden administration push to cancel up to $20,000 of student loan debt. Congress shot it down. So I think they're going back to the drawing board and trying to figure out some kind of way to still push this agenda through, whether it be 20,000 or maybe less, maybe more, who knows. But I know a lot of folks are really banking on this thing passing. So I know this is really a blow to some folks, because like I said, student loan debt can really be a crutch when it comes to folks trying to like actually build some type of wealth. I mean, you got doctors that are paying student loan debts for like over 20 years. And some doctors are making like sometimes like $200,000 to $300,000 a year. And they're still locked up with student loan debt. It's crazy. It's all a scam, you ask me. But anyways, let's get into these 5 ways to cancel student loan debt, because these are some things that I've researched myself that can be very helpful when you cancel student loan debt. Hopefully some of these things apply to you. But as a disclaimer, make sure you do your own research, okay? I am putting out these 5 ways, but I want you to still go out there and do your own research on all 5, just to make sure that you're vetting information that you receive from me on this platform, because I'm not always perfect, and I try to do my due diligence to do the proper research, but I'm human. I can be wrong sometimes. Sometimes I can research things, and within a couple of days before I push the video out, things may change, policy may change. So make sure you do your own research, right? So the first one is income-driven repayment. Income-driven repayment. So what that really means is basically what happens is you submit an application, and based off of your income, the federal government decides to give you a certain amount to pay every single month until the loan is paid off. So I mean, I think that's one of the main plans that folks have anyway to begin with. I know some folks that actually have done that plan before, and actually what happens is let's say you lose your job and you can't make that payment anymore. You can actually put the loan in some type of deferred status. I forget what the actual terminology for it is, but basically they give you leniency as far as like paying the debt off until you can get back on your feet and get another job. So that's one of the ways you can actually repay student loan debt. And one of the other ways is public service loan repayment. Public service loan repayment. So what that means is depending on what kind of job you have in the public service, after 10 years you doing that job, the government will pay your student loan off. Now, like I said, do your own research. Make sure you're actually looking up these things, and make sure you understand which public service jobs that this applies to. I'm just taking a educated guess. I'm pretty sure that government work is actually one of the ways you can do that. As far as like having your student loan debt repaid. Yeah, public service loan repayment. So look that up. Make sure you research which actual jobs that this applies to, and then apply for it. If you've been doing a job over 10 years, you probably could have your whole student loan wiped out. All right. So number 3, the third one is closed or low performing schools. Closed or low performing schools. Now, I've actually seen this happen. I forget which actual school it was that this happened to, but actually I think there's a couple schools this happened to. So if you can prove that the school was low performing that you went to, or the school was, it had you under the impression that they actually knew what they were doing and they didn't, and your degree really doesn't mean anything, then you can actually petition the government to actually forgive your student loan. Because basically what you're saying is that this school was a scam, and even though I have a degree from this school, my employers, or the job sector itself, does not recognize that this degree is valid, because the school was so low performing that it's like, I got a degree, but basically it was like, it's like child's play, like there was this degree means nothing. But I will say that from what I've seen, a lot of times the government will figure this out, not necessarily on their own, but through other means, as far as like being able to determine if a school wasn't legit. I would say there was a technical school. I forget what the name of the technical school was, but this happened to a technical school. The school actually got shut down, and don't quote me on this, but I believe that most, if not all, of those folks actually had their loans wiped out because the school was doing like a sham, as far as like being certified and legit, and they really wasn't. So that's another way is closed or low performing schools. Number 4 is bankruptcy discharge. So of course I'm gonna tell you right now, this one right here is not the last one that I'm going to discuss, right? But I will say that this probably is one of the least desired ways of canceling student loan debt. And here's the thing, this is the reason why I say that. Bankruptcy can really mess you up, especially when it comes to your credit, and to be able to pull out loans for emergency purposes. Bankruptcy is like one of the last things you really want to do when it comes to actually getting rid of any type of debt that you have. That should be your last resort. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that that's just my suggestion, but it's my suggestion. Now, let's use some common sense, and let's have the discernment. If you have exhausted all your means to cancel any type of debt, not just student loan debt, and you have a choice between bankruptcy or being on the streets, especially if you have a family, take the bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to be funny. I'm just saying, like, if you're back against the wall, that's the only way you can pull yourself out of that hole is through bankruptcy. Go ahead and take the bankruptcy. I'm just saying that I would suggest for you to use all other means to get rid of student loan debt, because that can really mess you up as far as credit, and it could take years for you to recover from that. But in the meantime, if you do file the bankruptcy, that means that you actually have a whole lot more money freed up, and you're not held back from that particular student loan debt, right? So that could free up, like I said, that could free up money. And in the meantime, if you need loans, if you need some type of credit, you can actually ask somebody to put you on their credit and go from there. Hopefully you have folks that are actually in a good position, and you have established good friendships and good connections and good networking for you to be able to do something like that. But yeah, bankruptcy is definitely one of the ways for you to get rid of student loan debt. And the last one, the one that actually that I chose and was the easiest one for me, was disability discharge. Now this can be in two ways. If you're a veteran watching this video right now, and I'm not going to assume that veterans know this, because there's a lot of veterans that do not know about a lot of things when it comes to the VA system, right? Social media has definitely put a lot of information out for veterans, but there are some veterans out there that do not know certain things that I would think would be obvious for a veteran to know. So I'm not going to assume that veterans know this. But for me, and like I said, I've used this, when I reached 100% disability, I was able to have my student loan debt wiped out. I'm gonna say that again. When I reached 100% permanent and total disability, I was able to have my student loan debt wiped out totally. There's no cap, y'all. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if you have $100 in debt, a student loan, or $1 million in debt student loan. Does not matter. If you reach 100% permanent and total VA disability, you will have your student loan debt wiped out, and you don't even have to actually file for it. After between 60 and 90 days, the VA will automatically discharge your student loan debt. Let's ponder that for a minute, right? You know what I'm saying? I hope that that this hasn't come to a total shock to a lot of veterans. If it has, and you are at 100% permanent and total, remember what, now, this is what I'm saying now, permanent and total, not TDYU. Not TDYU, permanent and total. That's the only way you can have student loan debt wiped out if you at 100% VA disability. Now, the other way is through Social Security, which I think is the more difficult one. But there is a way that if you're so disabled that you cannot work anymore and you are on Social Security, there's a way for you to have your student loan debt discharged because you're not able to work anymore to pay the student loan off. And like I said, do your own research. Make sure you actually talk to a financial consultant and make sure you understand the way for you to go about doing that if you're actually on Social Security. So those are the 5 ways for you to be able to discharge student loan debt. Like I said, student loan debt can really be a hindrance when it comes to you building wealth and actually being able to take charge of your finances. So I hope these 5 ways have been able to help you out to navigate this thing when it comes to student loan debt, because it really holds people back, and it's like I said, it's almost like a scam. It's like the job sector, they want you to have a degree for you to be able to make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it may take you 20 years or longer to pay student loan debt off, and in the meantime, you've been held back. So hopefully, one of these 5 ways can help you out pay off your student loan debt. I wouldn't count the government to pay your student loan debt off, because at the end of the day, the government is all about money and taking money, right? Building money. So it's going to be very difficult for them to pass this particular law to be able to pay your student loan debt off. And also, I'll drop this one before I go as well, because this is a channel about finding fitness and folk. One of the other ways you can actually cancel student loan debt as a bonus is start your own business. All right. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. Finance, fitness, and folk. Triple F, I'm gone.